lineup today. He'll go with some talented players indeed in Yarbrough, Hathaway, and Isaiah Victor, 2 of the 3 seniors. And in the backcourt, it will be Tony Harris and John Higgins. Tennessee 20-9, 7-8 in the SEC. LSU 12-14, 2-3 in SEC play. David Dodge, Ted Valentine, and Jim Clockerty, today's officials. And James, Tennessee at home. Boy, look, from February 4th of 1998 to 2001, they just ran it here at their home floor, 45-2. Last 3 home games, however, a little bit more difficult. 0-3 losses to Kentucky, Florida, and Georgia.
Very unfamiliar territory for Tennessee, losing at home that consecutively. 0-3, not good. This is a team that has played home well in the past.
Tennessee will have the height advantage. They'll try to pound the ball inside. Hathaway, let's just say he has a body, number 55. LSU, their ranks have been depleted by injury. More of an outside shooting team. They'll rarely be able to get the ball inside, so their shots will have to fall early.
LSU a perimeter team, and as the game goes on, you'll notice that the shots will be a little short because of fatigue. There's Tony Harris.
Harris, who has struggled of late, opens up and hits the 3.
Well, he's had some distractions, mainly the ankle sprain that he suffered over the last month or so. He seems to have recovered from that, a distraction, a newspaper article. But Tony Harris, make no mistake about it, he ignites this ball club.
Coming right back is Ronald Dupree, second in scoring in the SEC at 17.1 a game. He's out of Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, the situation with Harris came off the bench against Kentucky as one of a couple of players fell into the bench. He was in street clothes. There was articles written about his character. And that was all
to be called a certain name in the newspaper. I think he just was a little bit sensitive to it and has had a tough time overcoming.
3-3. Our score, LSU on the road against Tennessee. One time during the season, 16-1 and ranked number 4 in the country. LSU trying to run the shot clock down to 7. Ball tipped. Dupree has it around the 3-point line, slices through, and a foul with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, one of the things that Tennessee needs to do is play better defense. That
go 57% as a freshman and nearly 70% as a sophomore.
And imagine if he had the opportunity to play with Stromile, Smith this year. Obviously, Jamari Smith, a senior, had to go, but Dupree has stepped up. If he had Stromile to compliment him, that would be a good thing, but that's a big if.
Oh, Harris feeling the shot early. Back-to-back 3-pointers, averaging 12 points a game. Senior out of Memphis. Now, he struggled with that sprained ankle, very ineffective for about 4 ball games. Had to sit down 2.
And we saw him out here in yesterday's practice, and that was one of the things that he was working on, was a little spot-up jumper, and even the 10-foot jumper.
Boy, air ball to put back off the iron. Hathaway the rebound for Tennessee. Here comes Harris across midcourt. Volunteers up 6-5 early. Hard off the rim. Back to Harris. Dribble. Oh, tough shot, and it falls down. Vincent Yarbrough out of Cleveland, Tennessee, averaging 14 points a game, 6'7" junior.
Been absent. 2 or 3 touches, driving and kicking, weaving, getting everyone involved. That makes a happy team. That makes a stable locker room, and Tennessee is really doing a good job of self-motivating themselves.
Dennis Grindstaff checks in, number 2 for Tennessee. And Temple, Hollis Temple III, gets on the board, and we're tied at 8.
Son of a former great Tiger, Hollis Temple Jr. played back in the 70s.
First African-American to sign a letter of intent at LSU under Pres Maravich. And
they didn't come just to play basketball.
Exactly. 8-8, our score in Knoxville. Dupree, quick move baseline. Throws far side. Shot short. Rebound by Bashara. Temple, reverse, whistle. Turnover. One too many steps.
Well, he got in amongst the land of the Giants and Charles Hathaway and Isaiah Victor, who are both great shot blockers, and hesitated with the walk.
Coming up on the 16-minute mark, Yarbrough. Baseline jumper, sweet shot. Wouldn't go. Rebound. Hathaway had it, lost it. Tennessee grabs it. It's Victor. Loose ball. Catches his own fly ball.
Tennessee doing a good job early in the game collectively rebounding. That's something that they've not done well. I did the Florida game here a couple of weeks ago in Florida, which was able to dominate them on the boards.
Harris misses from Freeland, but the rebound and a fresh 35 on the shot clock. On the drive, hanging Victor. No. Hathaway. Big fella. Underneath and scores. Charles Hathaway, 6'10", 265. Tough to move out of the block.
No question about it. And granted, LSU is a little undermanned with the absence of Brad Bridgewater and Lamont Rowland, but it's just the effort that Tennessee is demonstrating. The effort.
Harris pulls back, now Spots in the corner. Grindstaff fouled, and he'll get 3 shots.
Well, Dennis Grandstaff is a gritty player. He doesn't mind getting his nose dirty. Had a big game against Syracuse early in the year where he had 11 points and 6 rebounds in 20 minutes. So he's a solid performer playing for Coach Jerry Green.
Grindstaff will shoot 3 after being fouled on the three-point attempt. 78% shooter. And he rattles down to third. His first point and a timeout. 15-13 remaining in the first half, and Tennessee on their home court, leading LSU 11-8, and we'll be back. 13 left in the opening half. Tennessee leads LSU 11-8. James, let's take a look at our Fidelity Investments keys to success.
Well, one of the things that Tennessee really needs to get back to, and that's sharing the ball. More we, less me. They struggled a little bit, and everyone tried to press it. They need to return to Tony Harris. That's the guy that's going to ignite them. He needs to hit his jumper and distribute the basketball. Defense always dictates your offense. If you start out strong defensively, get it in the passing lanes, things will work out well for you on the other end. And they also are so deep that they need to take advantage of their bench. They need to get their bench scoring over 20 points a game again.
Well, they average about 28 points a game, that bench of Jerry Green. In fact, James, if need be, if Jerry Green had to, he could actually rotate 5 at a time.
He could bring in a whole new, what Dean Smith started back at North Carolina was the blue team, where he would put in another 5 players and take out the starting 5. Jerry Green has the capability of doing that as well.
They call it the blue team because makes that opponent a little blue.
They're called the orange team in the event Jerry Green does it.
LSU breaks the press. Oh, little pop of the rim.
And if you're going to break a press, the best way to do it is not to hold the basketball. Move it. They got it to the center of the court. Good finish.
Now Dupree now with 7. He's coming off a 25-point game against Mississippi on Wednesday night. A game that LSU won in overtime, 78-77.
Now this is where Tennessee has struggled of late when they were losing. The ball had a tendency to stick a little bit and a lot of standing around. That's what I just saw in that possession. Temple.
Bashara leaves it. What a nice leave for Dupree now with 9. And LSU told us, Coach Brady are worried about his inside game, but if you can run the ball and get Tennessee to be spread out on the floor, those are some easy buckets.
Well, I think Tennessee has confidence that they can beat this team. I'm not quite sure why they're starting to press as much as we see Isaiah Victor go inside with a strong move. But as far as Tennessee's concerned, they're pressing LSU, and they're leaving the backside of the defense wide open. They're very confident in the quickness up front, but once you pass that, it's easy money at the end.
So Victor connects on the free throw. 14-12 Tennessee, under 14 minutes left.
I know I say I don't understand. I think I do understand. Tennessee realized that LSU is undermanned and that fatigue is a factor at the end of the game. They're trying to press the tempo.
James, right now it's a one-man game for LSU. I mean, Collis Temple, the third, hit a 3, but Dupree has reeled off 11 points here in this first half.
Solid player, solid performer, has not let the distraction interfere with his improvement.
Good patience by Tennessee. Bounce pass inside Slay. Cole draws the triple team. Ball loose on the deck. Still loose. Picked up. Here comes LSU. Dupree kick to the corner. Temple. 3-ball.
Well, let's not forget that LSU beat a very good Ole Miss team. Ron Barnes is a great coach down there, and this team, you know, they don't have any pressure. They're not going to have any postseason play. They can take it one way or the other. They can finish out weak, or they can be the spoiler, and they're not giving up easily.
3-point try around the rim, and Temple up on the ladder for the rebound. Quickly pushing the tempo is Bright. Oh, a little behind the back, and a foul as Bashera hit the deck. 17-14, LSU on the road. Inside to Slay, wide open Yarbrough. Pulls back short on the jumper. LSU crashing the board right now.
Doing a good job of eliminating Tennessee from getting a second opportunity on the last 2 possessions. But even though Tennessee hasn't scored, I like the entry play by Harris and also the pass out by Slay. They're moving the ball quite well.
Jermaine Williams will give to Bright short. Hit the front of the iron. Here comes Ron Slay. Leaves it for Yarbrough.
What a move.
Behind the back whistle. Took the shot. LSU leads Tennessee in the first game of our triple header here on CBS. And coming up next, part 2.
Won 6 of their last 8 to stay in contention for an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament, so you never can count them out. Seton Hall, on the other hand, has lost 11 of its last 14, making it very promising for UConn.
You know, there's talk to Tennessee. I mean, even despite the quick start, and you know, James, I think when they go into the selection room next Sunday, a week from tomorrow, it's how you finish plays a major role.
I believe so. You know, along with the RPI, of course, you know, this team was in jeopardy of being skeptical, but they've won their last 2. If they finish out strong here, 3-0, and going through the tournament, I think their RPI will save them along with the 20 wins.
Well, LSU battling Wilson on the deck. Finally, Yarbrough has it. LSU will use about 7 players in this game. Yarbrough cut on the baseline. Grindstaff slicing with the layup.
Just taking advantage of what is there. A very savvy player, and you need a player like Grindstaff. He didn't hesitate in taking that ball straight to the cup after the offensive rebound.
Grindstaff played a year at Virginia Tech and transferred, and that was easy. James, what are you doing there? You could have still walked in for that bucket.
Well, you have to get over and force the pass. That time, Jermaine Williams was able.
Terrence Woods, number 31, comes in, a sophomore from Memphis for Yarbrough.
One of the things for Tennessee as they make the substitutions, Harris Walker coming in the game for Tennessee. But one of the things for Tennessee is that they've had a big game against South Carolina after having to struggle with the loss. And you don't want to come in here and just think you can put LSU away early. You have to come in and stick to the fundamentals, stick to your game plan. I think Tennessee came in here and tried to jump on it, and it's not going to happen that easily.
Dupree back to Charles Thompson, who just came in for LSU. 9 on the shot clock. Good patience by the Tigers. Dupree makes his baseline move, kicks it out to Wilson. 2 on the shot. They're not going to get it away. Good defense by Tennessee.
One of the things we talked about at the top of the show was the good defense that dictates the energy and the intensity that goes over to the offensive end.
Hathaway draws a double team. Woods had a good look. Buries it.
Well, there's Terrence Woods. You remember he hit the big three-point as time expired to force overtime versus South Carolina. 41 of his 51 goals have come from three-point range, so you don't want to leave him open.
LSU 3 of 6 from behind the arc. Tennessee 2 of 6. Williams drives, baseline rejected. And coming back the other way, last touch by LSU. I'll tell you what, Tennessee, it is a block party, James. They average 6 blocks a game, which ranks #1 in the SEC. But look, Hathaway, over 1.5. Same with Hayslip, who only plays about 12 minutes a game.
Yeah, Marcus Hayslip has blocked 15 in the last 5 games. He had 5 blocks versus Florida. So defense gets the crowd involved, and it gets the players involved. As you can see, a lot of excitement, a lot of high-fiving, and the bench gets involved over the defense. Anytime you know you have some shot blockers, you can play a little bit more riskier on the perimeter, and you can funnel it in there to the shot blockers.
Right to Temple. Bashera. 9 minutes left in the half. Temple has a good look at a 3. And hits. Temple now 9 points, 3 3-pointers. Temple the third out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And he can put up some big numbers. His best game in January, he had 16 points in the second half over the Georgia Bulldogs, so he can light it up in a hurry.
Walker, sweet jumper out of Chattanooga, former Mr. Basketball at Tennessee back in 1998.
And he put together some good games this year against Kentucky and Florida, and just a solid performance for Coach Green off the bench.
Bashera. Boy, the 3 balls are just going down.
Well, their perimeter team, and Bashera, who was the returning leading scorer from last year's team, is not afraid to put it up.
LSU, James, now 5 of 7 behind the 3-point line. Harris, little head fake, drives in the paint, kicks. Another 3 ball on its way, short. Hathaway to rebound. Didn't hit the rim, so 12. The shot clock continues to wind down. Tough shot and a whistle.
It's good to see Tony Harris not always settle for the outside shot. That time he did an excellent job of driving to the basket and finding the body, making contact. It's okay if if they do, because they'll have the fatigue factor at the end of the game.
John Brady said the first 5 or 6 minutes so important. LSU hanging around, and we'll be back. 7:46 remaining in the first half. LSU and Tennessee tied up at 25 apiece. And James, here's a game summary. You look at the field goal. Right now, LSU shooting 56%. They've been hot from behind the 3-point line, 5 of 7. Dupree leads the way with 11 points. Maybe a surprise, but one thing that the stats don't show is intensity. And LSU has come out here with not a lot to play for except pride, with a depleted bench, and they're playing some intense basketball.
Well, they don't have much, but what they do have, they utilize that. And we talked to Coach Brady before the game, and he says, look, we're an outside perimeter ball club. We're going to take the opportunities, even if it's a not so good shot. So they're knocking them down here, led by Ronald Dupree.
The 3-point game has been the bonus for LSU. As you look at John Brady, had a great talk with him prior to the game. It's amazing in a year's time what has happened to his club. Last year, 28-6. They win the SEC title, Sweet 16. He was a sports writer, coach of the year. And then injuries decimate this team. You lose Stromile Swift to the NBA. Jabari Smith, he was a senior, so depleted the ranks. And a steal and a jam. Oh! Walker.
Quite an acrobatic dunk at the end of that, but he's one of Coach Green's most improved players. There's a crowd here starting to get into the game.
LSU able to get the timeout. Dupree was stuck. Here's the steal, and it's showtime for Walker, climbing up the top rung. Come back. Tennessee leads 7-25. Now, is your team a lock for a tournament seed, or are they on the bubble? Find out by clicking on NCAA Hoops at the Internet's home of college basketball, cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. James, we talked about how tough this season has been compared to last year. A Sweet 16 team was LSU.
Have quality competitive practices with walk-ons.
Good point.
You know, not to take anything away from those guys, but still it's been very difficult to coach.
You can really never duplicate a game situation under these circumstances.
Very hard when you don't have talented players in and out of practice. Bridgewater out, Lamont out, and just a difficult obstacle to overcome for Coach Brady.
Slay had the rebound on the missed jumper. Coming up on the 6.5-minute mark. Victor up high. Hangs on the pivot foot. Now Harris. No patience. We kept talking about patience for Tennessee. Victor missed the little timeout call by Jerry Green. Wanted to huddle the troops up. 2-point game here on their home court. 27-25. Williams backs it out for LSU.
Well, LSU runs a little weave on the perimeter. Meanwhile, they're trying to work inside for Dupree.
Temple fouled.
Temple has been active. Everyone
now with 10 points. 1-point game under 6 minutes left, opening half.
LSU is showing a variety of defense. They'll play man-to-man. They'll come down and play a little 2-3. This possession, they started with a 1-3-1, and they're very sticky on defense.
Williams stripped the ball. Layup off the mark, and back to Tennessee.
I would say right now that LSU really has the momentum. They have the intensity. The effort is there. Tennessee started out with the home court adrenaline, has since worn off, and LSU is attacking. They're gritty on defense and getting out on transition before Tennessee's defense can get set up.
Both teams shooting 9 of 18 from the floor. John Higgins checks back in for Tennessee, number 42, out of Shaker Heights, Ohio.
You notice right away they go into a somewhat of a box and one on Higgins because they know he's a pure shooter from the three-point area.
Three-pointer on the way, rattles down. So right off the bench, and he's hot. Three-pointer, first bucket for Higgins.
One of the most underrated players in SEC. 29 of 52 three-pointers. Before that one, that's 30 of 53 now. But he can flat out knock it down from three-point range.
Dallas Temple, good body control as a freshman, James. What a turnaround. Granted, with the injuries, he's had to step up. 4-point average as a freshman, over 13 this season as a sophomore.
Well, there's no question. When you're focused in the classroom, Craig, it carries over into
up high for the rebound.
Tennessee putting themselves in a dangerous situation because LSU's gaining confidence. I mean, this is a televised game. People are watching and they want to perform.
Bashera had a good look at the three. Rimmed out. Here comes Walker. Bounce pass inside Slay. Hanging on the pivot foot. Rebounded by LSU. Bright across midcourt. Trying to push the tempo. Shoots the three. Hard off the rim. Bashera rebound. What a move. Spin move in, and another bucket by Collis Temple III. Dad should be proud of this first half.
And I'm sure he is, but that's about the third or fourth time, Craig, that we've seen no one stepping up in the lane. LSU able to drive almost to the basket for uncontested layups. That's got to stop for a team that...
High-intensity first half, 30 all LSU and Tennessee, and coming up on the singular at the half, Greg Gumbel has all the scores and highlights, plus a look at the Stanford UC and double-doubles on the season with 13. You know, he's number 2 in scoring and rebounding in this conference. 17 points a game and just a little over 9 rebounds.
And we're talking to Coach Brady. He is going to get some of his scholarships back next year, and this is going to be a fine basketball team. When you look at Temple and Dupree and Bright, things are looking up.
James, how tight has this game been? 5 ties and 10 lead changes.
And I can see the look on Tennessee's face, the inability to put them away early as they go inside to Ron Slay, who's had some opportunities in there. That time he came away with a bucket. But you can see Tennessee, and I've done some of their games before, you know, they have to be very patient and stay focused regardless of the opponent they're playing with this afternoon.
First points for Slay. Under 3 minutes left. Williams hands off to Bright. On a push. On a push.
The one thing that's missing here in men's basketball is the crowd. I mean, Tennessee is known for having some crazy crowds if you've been to any of their sporting events, and that's something I think that the players really want to boost their confidence even more.
You can feed off that 6th man.
Absolutely.
No question. Patience by Tennessee. Walker trapped on the baseline, needs some help. Last touched by LSU. With 16 on the shot clock.
You know, as a player, you just need to know that the crowd has confidence in you.
Tony Harris with the lob out. Walker working on Bright. He wants the 3. Good look. Off the rim. Bashera rebounds. Big fella can dribble.
And the Tennessee shot, now to me that's an old, not so good Tennessee shot. No execution, no trying to get it inside.
That goes back to the concerns of the last couple of weeks of touch and shoot. Williams, good look. Hard off the iron. Bright. Over and back. It looked like it hit the top of the backboard and then came back into play.
Yeah, either that. Tennessee really needs to concentrate on trying to take advantage of Ron Slay. He's a great inside player, but to double down on him very quick, and the opening has to be a quick pass out of the double. Unfortunately, he didn't get it out that time. Ron Slay needs to be a passer out of the post, not a scorer today. Well, that was an interesting call. I thought Jermaine Williams had avoided the charge, but evidently too much body contact.
You saw John Brady there. Wanted him to pass that ball away. Final minute of the first half. Tennessee by 2. Good defense by Bright. Yarbrough trades it back to Harris. Yarbrough pulls up. 3-ball on the way. Good. Second bucket for Yarbrough. 5 points. Out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Only player to start all 30 games for Jerry Green this year. And it's a 5-point lead.
And if there's one player that reminds me, former player here at Tennessee, Allen Houston, it's Vincent Yarbrough. A great triple threat guy, facing the basket, good shooter.
Blocking foul. LSU, James, in a drought.
Well, the key to LSU is just to wear them down. And that's something that Tennessee has to recognize, that it's not a short game. It's not a game they're going to win in 20 minutes. It's a 40-minute game. You want to wear LSU down for the latter stage of the basketball.
21.5 seconds left in the first half. Bright will inbound for LSU. Out high is Temple. Tough defense by Tennessee. LSU trying to work it in. Bright works around. Bashera. Good look. Pulls up. Too strong. Rebound goes out to Tennessee. It's Terrence Woods at the buzzer. Hits the glass. And we've played 20 minutes in Knoxville. Harris with 8 points for Tennessee. Collins Temple the third, 14 for LSU, and Dupree adding 11. That ends the first half. Tennessee leading LSU 35-30. Now to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, thanks, guys. Coming up on Singular at the half, I'll get your call.
I'm sorry. Tony Harris is playing very well in this game, but the bench points have been a big for Tennessee. 14-zip in the first half.
Transamerica automatic bids at stake. Georgia.
U.S. Postal Service.
Halftime in Knoxville, Tennessee leads LSU 35-30. Craig Bolerjack back along with James Worthy. Key to this game was the fact that the very tenacious LSU team, however, the legs. They did not score in the final 3 minutes, 56 seconds of this half.
Yeah, we talked about that at the top of the show. And anytime you have your bench players only playing 12 minutes as reserves, and then Tennessee reserve players 40 minutes, that's going to be a problem. Fatigue will be a problem in the second half.
Yeah, Collis Temple III had to go the full 20 minutes in the first half for LSU. Let's take a look now at our Autotrader.com halftime stats. You mentioned bench points. Tennessee so deep, they go 14 over LSU 0. Just not enough players, not enough depth to make an impact.
And you mentioned earlier, Tennessee averaged, I think, 28 or 29 points a game off the bench, and they seem to be getting back to that of late.
Halfway there, Temple III with 14 points and Harris with 8. And as we watch this second half develop, it's going to be about the gas tank. It's going to be about how about the legs. You look about running out of gas, and here comes the car, the LSU Tigers to the finish line. Little sputtering against Georgia, led by 8 at half, lost by 5. Arkansas had a 3-point lead with 6:39 left, lost by 7. Bama losing by 10 after leading by 8. Against the Gators, they had a 10-point lead, and then down the stretch, the tank went dry.
It would almost appear that LSU would have to blow you out in the first half and hope that you don't catch up in the second half, because this is not new territory for them. They know fatigue will be a factor with the minutes that they put on their starters.
Once again, John Brady told us it's about the first 5 or 6 minutes of each half, and that's the way to start. Right there as Bashera, who had a 3-pointer in the first 20 minutes, knocks down his second.
And I know this team, the LSU Tigers, really welcome the halftime when they can get a breather, because yes, they'll have a lot of spark early in the second half, but as you noticed in the first half, they will slow down as the game goes on.
You know, Bashera was one of the players for LSU that had a tough stretch late January, mid-February, and he really hit bottom when he went 0 for 11 against 2-point ball game. Tennessee up over LSU.
Well, because they're undermanned, it makes it very easy to focus on Bashera, a player who normally would produce a lot more.
Air ball. Shot clock continues to run. Yarborough gathers himself, shoots again, it hits.
Second opportunities is one thing that Tennessee needs more of, and something that LSU cannot afford to give up.
5-point game. Played just over a minute. Yarborough had 5 in the first half. Bashera looking for help. Up top, it goes to Bright. Another 3 ball. Nope, gave it up to Temple. He'll shoot the 3. Hits it. Oh, what a ball game Collis Temple III has put together. 14 points, James, first half. Now with 17, and he's 4 of 6 from the 3-point line.
Well, that's that quick start that we saw LSU put on Tennessee early in the first half, and they're extremely patient running their offense. That last possession was a good example of how to run your offense and wait for the best shot, and they need the best opportunities they can get.
Good rotation, LSU. Patience, 15 on the shot clock. Stripped by Hathaway. Now Dupree lobs back to Williams. Around the horn, Bright.
Extra pass. Extra pass. That is solid basketball, and I'm impressed with Coach Brady, because all the obstacles that he's had to overcome, he still has passion for coaching, and whatever they have.
LSU on a 5-0 run. Temple now with 19 points. Harris from way downtown. Loose ball picked up Tennessee. Fresh 35 on the shot clock. It's Higgins.
And that's not the shot that Tennessee's looking for. They need to get the ball inside, move it around, execute like they were doing early in the ball game. Now, there's a guy that I think has the green light at all times, though. Vincent Yarborough.
That's his second 3 of this half. 11. Leads the team in points and rebounds at 14 and 7. Averages about 31 minutes a game for Jerry Green.
Tony Harris, in my opinion, the guy that really needs to exert himself is the player that just got the rebound, and that's Vincent Yarborough. He's a versatile player and can get it going at any moment.
Dupree missed a fine opportunity for the layup. Yarborough wants another 3 ball. It hits.
Exactly. That's the guy.
That's the zone. 3 threes in this half for Vincent Yarbrough, the junior from Cleveland, Tennessee. And a timeout. We'll come back to Knoxville after this. James, Tennessee answers with a 6-0 run of. And Thursday on Survivor, the tribes finally merge. Now everyone must compete for themselves. Don't miss the most watched show in America. An all-new Survivor. Catch it Thursday only on CBS.
An appropriate name, Survivor. We wonder who's going to survive in the upcoming tournament.
Yeah.
And going into the big dance. Survive.
SEC tournament starts Thursday. Nashville, Selection Sunday. A week from tomorrow. From the corner. 3 ball, a little bit hard. Bashera. Right place, right time, the rebound. Wanted the 3 and smartly gives it back up top.
Well, LSU, they know that this game is in jeopardy, and they're going to do everything they can to try to slow it down and take away some of the intensity that Tennessee has built up here in the second half.
Yarbrough's had the hot hand stripped away. Loose ball picked up by Tennessee. Victor lowered the shoulder and gets the roll. Isaiah Victor with his 5th point, first bucket of this half out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Had a big game this year against Auburn where he had 34 points. And they haven't had that many points since Allen Houston back in 1993. So Victor, as you talked about earlier, is a very good ball player, has a lot of potential.
Well, the threes won't fall now. Chasing down to the corner for the rebound is Higgins. Tennessee on an 8-0 run. The last 2 minutes. They could make it 10 straight on this possession. Yarbrough on the dribble, the drive, and he hangs short. And on the over LSU, 46-38, and later today, the 3rd game of our triple header here on CBS. It's going to be a dandy number in Illinois. What I like about this tournament this year is that it's hard just to pick a clear favorite.
It is, which is why you want to be the #1 seed. Duke needs to be the #1 seed because they had that big injury to Boozer. You know, there's never been a 16 seed to be the top seed. So that's very, very important. And Stanford, you know, they have a 1-game lead, but they don't want to get into a head-to-head tiebreaker in which UCLA beat them up in Stanford. So it's very critical to try to get that #1 seed.
Well, the 3 ball went down for Temple the 3rd, his 22nd point. Now LSU 2 of 6, James, from the 3-point line. I don't think that's what John Brady wants his team to do, is survive by the 3 only. But again, with the lack of size, they don't have a lot of options.
Yeah, very.
Under 15 minutes to play. Higgins on the bench with 4 offensive rebounds. Bashera wants the 3, rattles it.
Well, they're setting a nice little down pick and swinging the ball. The timing is excellent. Bashera has been getting that shot all afternoon.
I just said they can't live by the 3, but who listens to me?
Traditionally, historically, no, you can't in this game. But when you have the injuries and players leaving, LSU has to take whatever they can get.
Under 14 minutes, and all of a sudden LSU crawling back with the long shot, and the baseline jumper hits both sides of the rim and falls for Walker. His 3rd bucket of the game, 6 points.
That's the beauty of Tennessee's bench, who averages 29 points a game. When you take out a Higgins or you take out a Harris, in comes Walker or Woods, who can pick up the slack.
Tough defense by Tennessee. LSU able to break it. Bright on the dribble drive, baseline. Oh, a tough shot, but it falls for Temple.
You know, I think Temple saw our opening show, and he says, look, I know you guys like Dupree, but I'm a good player too, and he's definitely demonstrated that here all afternoon.
Well, Dupree's been shut out in the first 7 minutes of this half. And Slay got an easy look at the bucket, a little jump shot from about 3 feet out. He's been a 6th man for Tennessee, but moved into that starting lineup against Kentucky.
And some consider him to be the best 6th man in the nation. A very versatile player, more focus on the inside play.
Loose ball on the deck. Grindstaff saved it. Gives it up to Victor. Boy, he can run, he can slash, he can leap, and Victor up with his 7th point.
Well, Victor, he got the big dunk, but credit Dennis Grindstaff with getting down on the floor, hustling, and getting that loose ball. And that's what I like about him. He does all the little things that other players don't like to do.
Walker picked up the foul. He was battling Bashara. That'll be his first.
See, there's just nowhere to go with a one-dimensional game, and that's from the perimeter. It's very easy to guard, but when you're knocking down the shots, it's a beautiful thing.
Now watch out if Dupree finds a shot. He had the great 10 minutes to start this game with 11 points. He's gone through about a 16-minute drought. Now his first bucket of this half, 52-48 Tennessee.
And a lot of that is due because of Michelle knocking down his shots and also Temple emergence in this ball game.
Third foul picked up there by Torres Bryant as he tried to block it from the side.
Here's to beat this team.
53-48 Tennessee with 11:46 left. Look, this is an even ball game except for one category. On the floor, a lot of three-point tries, and they've been made. Bench points, James. Tennessee 19-0 over LSU.
And that's been the key, and it kind of shows you where Tennessee still has to improve because LSU is playing a pretty even ball game. They're shooting the ball well. They're rebounding. However, Tennessee has 10 offensive rebounds to LSU. Combine that with the bench production, and I think that's the lead that Tennessee has right now.
Can you live and die? Do you live and die in this game by the three?
You can die by the three.
There's
not a lot of living by the three. You can die really quick with the three-point play.
11:46 left.
You have to be able to mix up a little inside-outside play in order for the three to be effective. Florida does it extremely well. Kentucky does it well because they have post-up players that require double teams, so they're able to kick out and get the easy shots.
Alley-oop, a foul. The bucket counts. Oh,
top.
Boy, three-point play the hard way. 16 for Ronald Dupree, and it's a two-point game. 53-51 Tennessee.
They may be lacking in players, but they still have the coach that took them to the Sweet 16 last year, and he's got some tricks up his sleeve. We just saw one of them.
Three-pointer rolls out. Yeah, if you don't have the height, but you've got a leaper, why not just go ahead and lob the lob pass in?
It works to perfection there because Dupree got behind the zone. Tennessee fell asleep expecting the perimeter shot. It's a good call out of timeout.
Thompson around the horn. Dupree.
Got a mismatch inside with Temple on Harris. They just got to lob it up there.
11 on the shot clock. Dupree fires the three. Hits it. 19 for Dupree.
You mentioned he had been in a slight drought, but they did have some scoring from other players, and he's capable of coming back quickly.
LSU with the 54-53 lead. Didn't last long. Victor came right back. Nice move inside and powers up the little push shot off the glass. 6 points this half for Victor.
And much here this afternoon that they should be doing, and that's taking the ball inside. They haven't posted up nearly as much. Sure, they draw the double team, but that's a good thing because you can kick it out and get the open shot. So that was a good play by Victor on the last possession, getting the ball in Victor Hathaway. They don't really need to spend a lot of time on the perimeter unless you really hit a few and you're feeling a little hot. But they need to take advantage of the inside play. That's going to get them to the free throw line as well.
Jason Wilson, a junior, 6'7", checks in, number 44 for LSU. Hayslip had a great high school career. James, how many players you know? You played with one that could play all 5 positions, some guy named Magic.
Yeah. And, you know, when you have a guy like that, he's irreplaceable because he can go and play many positions.
Turnover. Tennessee brings it back the other way with a 2-point lead. 8th turnover committed by LSU. Tennessee was 7. It has been a clean game. I mean, with just under 9 left. Grindstaff has been a spark off this Tennessee bench. 8 points now, hitting the 3 ball.
And you can see the concern of Tennessee. They want to up this tempo as they go back into their press.
Boy, good hustle. LSU, there's no quit in the Tigers.
Tennessee knows that they can't let LSU hang around with players like Dupree, and today Temple playing well. So they're getting back into their little pressure game, trying to get the tempo back in their favor.
Yarbrough with the steal, and it starts the break. Good hustle by LSU, and we'll come back. You know, Jerry Green, we had a nice talk yesterday, James, about the concerns of this team. Discipline seems to be one that has been brought up several times. Slay mishandles, picked up by Grindstaff. And a hand check foul.
It's Craig, I think from the alumni's point of view, they'd like to see a little bit more discipline out of this ball club on the court. They know that they're better than what they presented this year, and you know they want Jerry Green to be in charge of that. It's very tough alumni down here. His record, however, is pretty impressive.
Four straight taken over. 4 straight 21 seasons, James. 3 straight NCAA tournaments, and they hope to make it 4. Facelift to Slay. Nice backside help defensively by Bashera. LSU still hanging around at the 8-minute mark. Temple inside. Back out to Bright. Hits it. 3-pointer. Taurus Bright, his first bucket. And he's on the floor with 4 fouls. 59-54, Tennessee.
LSU is executing a lot better than Tennessee this afternoon. There you have Ron Slay taking a perimeter shot. However, they were able to get the offensive rebound.
And the slam by Hayslip. Well, the ball came right down into his hands.
Well, you know, I watched Ron Slay, who's a great inside player. He just settled for the perimeter shot without even looking inside.
Slay hustles down the court, turnover. 2-on-2. Temple up high off the glass, and a foul.
And he is taking advantage of it. A very versatile player. I hadn't seen him play that much, but he can put the ball on the floor, great in transition, and he's wreaking havoc here for Tennessee this afternoon.
Only a sophomore, James, as I mentioned, averaged 4 points a game last year. Has really quickly developed as Yarbrough answers back and hits a big 3. 17 points. He's had the hot hand here in the second half. 64-60 Tennessee.
And one way for LSU to try to get a little rest for themselves is to go to the zone defense, but they got to be careful with Vincent Yarbrough on the perimeter.
Tough shot, fall away, and it falls down. Dupree with 21. 48 points scored by Temple and Dupree.
And I really do believe that most players could benefit from that. Last year in school, I really think Stromile Swift could have, and boy, what a treat it would have been to see he and Dupree playing together along with the injuries.
James, there's the gamble you take when you double down low. They get the pass out high, and you got a hot hand, and Yarbrough hits another 3.
Well, that's the good execution. You have to start your offense most of the time from inside out. They have enough inside players to force LSU to double team. They have to double team. Therefore, you're going to get the open and high percentage shots from the outside.
Williams slides through and gets the bucket. Jermaine Williams, 4 points, his first bucket this half.
Well, he moved into the starting role in January and has improved ever since. And there's a steal by, guess who? Mr. Temple.
Slay lost the handle, 2-on-2, holds it up. Boy, tough D, ball's on the deck, inside. Bashera, reverse, and he walked, turnover. He can move well for a big fella.
Well, he's very versatile at 6'9", 6'10", can put the ball on the floor.
And then made the transfer, 3-point game. Tennessee under 5.5 to play. James bench points. Tennessee with the shutout. 25 LSU. Nothing. No production off that LSU bench. For complete game coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
And you wonder how LSU is able to stay in this ball game with zero bench production.
Now their names are Temple and Dupree. Harris Walker, his 4th bucket of this game. And it's a 5-point Tennessee lead.
And under 5 minutes now, let's take a look and see how the fatigue factor will play itself out.
Temple. In and out. Back in.
Not yet. It hadn't started.
Oh, little back English.
And I got to tell you, I don't think they're going to be tired here in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This team knows that they have a chance.
Back the other way, and the answer. I've never seen a 3-point exchange like today. Hayslip with the 3. 5 points, and it's back and forth, 72-67.
There's that patient offense again, passing the ball around, setting screens, waiting for the opportunity to open.
11 on the shot clock for Shara.
Plenty of time, and
Dupree, baseline, tough shot, and he hits it.
I tell you, he's got ice in those veins. He's a player.
23 for Dupree, 30 for Temple, and that 30 is a new career high. 72-69, 3-point game. Walker.
This is where Tennessee struggles sometime when they need to execute.
And a whistle with 30.
And just to let you know what happened on that timeout, I think Walker for Tennessee had an ace bandage wrapped around his leg that came off and fell on the floor, and Jerry Green wanted it to get off the floor.
Walker, fall away, short. LSU has it. Here comes Torres Bright running the point on the floor with 4 fouls. Finds a seam, lays it up and in. Oh, big bucket.
How many times have we seen that throughout this game? LSU coming down in transition. Tennessee a little late getting back, leaving the gaps wide open. No one there to shut down the paint. You have to get back to the paint first and then start your defense out.
Harris the quick catch and shoot.
Big shot from him.
Harris, he was been quiet, James, in this half. His first bucket, and it's a 3. 11 for Harris in this game. And a quick 30-second timeout called. Quick timeout. Harris spots and hits. His 4th season trying to find a way to pull an upset on the road.
Very charismatic interview we had with him. He's just a joy to talk with. He knows he's got a battle, an uphill battle, the restrictions that the NCAA has laid down on him, but he still has hope and looking forward to the time he can, have a competitive practice and get some scholarships back.
Tough rebound, Bashara. Fresh 35 on the shot clock. Under 2.5 to go.
Tennessee can't afford to give up any second opportunities to LSU, a team that's been shooting the ball extremely well here in the second half.
Well, Dupree waits for Bright, 18 on the shot. Bright off balance, tries to follow the miss, and is taken down by Tennessee. Wanted over the back. He didn't get the call.
Little contact, but normally Harris would try to take that ball all the way to the basket. That time, realizing the time on the clock, backed it out, asked for the basketball, and he's getting his team set up in something. And that's something that we hadn't seen a lot out of Tony Harris, even though a little bit out of control there.
Lost the dribble. And a timeout. 10th turnover for Tennessee. 1:34 to go in Knoxville. Volunteers by 4. Thursday on CBS, a murder leads the investigators to a new clue on an old kidnapping case. Don't miss television's #1 new drama, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. 75-71, Tennessee, 134 remaining. Team fouls, 8 over 3, and timeouts will play a factor, James, in a tight game like this. Tennessee with 2. LSU has 1. It's a 60-second timeout. Tennessee has a 60 and a 30.
Timeouts are critical, and Tennessee needs to control the time left here in this ball game. You know LSU will be looking to set some picks, run the weave, get up a 3-shot, a 3-point play if they can. But Tennessee needs to control the tempo and the time left on the clock.
Torres Bright brings it up. Guarded closely by Walker. Dupree sets the pick in the corner. It's Temple. Nearly lost the dribble. Needs help. Oh, dangerous pass picked off by Harris. And now they'll reach in. Bashera stopped the break for Tennessee.
Well, it just would have been better for Temple to just take a shot rather than to try to make that cross the court. Bounce pass through the teeth of the defense. Didn't really do themselves any good with that possession out of a timeout. They should have got a better shot than that. You're going to see Temple. He's a little bit undecided, kind of loses control, then tries to throw the ball through Tony Harris, and that's not going to work.
Out goes Bright, and in comes Charles Thompson, the freshman from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Victor in the corner. I want to run some clock here.
They'll run some clock and get it inside if they can. It appears that LSU is going to try to foul though, and they do.
58 seconds and change, 4-point game. That's the 5th team foul, and the 2nd foul on Temple. Exhausting day for Brady, exhausting day for Jerry Green. Away from the ball was Bashera with his 3rd. That's the 6th team foul.
And LSU will be looking to foul either Yarbrough, who's only shooting 65%, Victor 62%, Higgins, or Hathaway.
Timeout called by Tennessee. Couldn't get the inbounds. We'll take a break. Be right back. Tennessee on top of LSU. Just under a minute remaining. Timeouts. Both teams with a 60 and the possession arrow pointing to Tennessee. 75-71. Yarbrough has led the way for the Volunteers with 20, and it's been a 2-man show for LSU. Dupree with 23 and Temple 30.
And they want to try to keep the ball in Tony Harris's hands. He's the best free throw shooter on the ball club at 81%. The poorest free throw shooters are Yarbrough, Victor, Higgins, and Hathaway.
Dupree picked up the foul, the 3rd, and so that will send Tennessee to the line to shoot 1 and 1. And it's going to be Hayslip. .76% shooter from the line, 1 of 2 today.
Free throw so important and has become a lost art as far as practice is concerned.
And make sure you stick around. Coming up next, you'll see either Virginia at Maryland, number 9 against number 16, or Connecticut at Seton Hall. Triple header day here on CBS. Stanford UCLA will cap things off. 2 big free throws by Marcus Hayslip, a sophomore out of Lewisburg, Tennessee. 77-71. There's time. LSU will have to hustle. Bright, Dupree. A little mismatch there as Tony Harris gives up inches. Dupree try to work it back to Temple.
They need to get it out quicker than what they have. Something that LSU is not used to doing is getting quick shots, and Tennessee playing good defense here in the last 35 seconds.
Hayslip will inbound to Harris. And then the reach. And And it's going to be Temple. James with his third.
Well, they needed to get a couple of quick shots up, and instead of settling for the three-point shot, sometimes it's good to take the ball to the hole. You know that Tennessee doesn't want to foul and get quick points that way. You want that three-point shot to be your last result. If you can get some quick, easy ones first, maybe get a quick foul, stop the clock. That's something that LSU neglected to do on the last possession.
Tennessee now 11 of 16 from the free throw line. LSU 5 of 7, make that 11 of 17.
So right now they should be driving to the hole. Excuse me, Craig. They should be trying to get to the basket aggressively.
Well, Tennessee is pushing everything out. And now Temple hangs and shoots off the iron. Rebound goes out to Yarbrough. And the final seconds of this battle will tick down. Harris.
Great day for senior day here at Tennessee.
And the final seconds, a tough battle given by LSU, but a very deep Tennessee team hangs on. Well, the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game from LSU, Collis Temple III, who threw in 30, and Vincent Yarbrough from Tennessee, who scored 20. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. So for James Worthy, this is Craig Bolerjack as we say so long from Knoxville. Well, Tennessee has knocked off LSU 78-71. Coming up next, Virginia takes on Maryland, or UConn battles Seton Hall. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship, 78-71.
Sponsored by Chevrolet, Pepsi One, Advil, and by Microsoft.